So I'll call the Economic Development meeting for August 5th, 2024 to order. Do we have roll call, please?
John Regheimer, not present. Stacy Hessel,
Here.
Tom Duffy,
Here.
Steve Karayanen, Randy Newman. We have a quorum.
Okay, please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have certification of compliance with the open meetings law, please?
Let the record show that this meeting has been publicly noticed to the news media as required by section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes.
Thank you. And may I get a approval of the meeting agenda set for today? We need approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the.
Thank you, Andy. Then Tom will second it. All in favor? Aye. Public comments. I don't see any up here. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak? Okay. Moving on to number 7, consider approval of meeting minutes from the previous meeting, July 8th, 2024. We have a motion by Mr. Duffy,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Newman. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Number 8, Sawyer County Agricultural Fair Association report. Please state your name and your position, please.
I'm Rick Christian, Sawyer County Fair President. So we are a week and a half away from the fair. It's August 8th or 15th through the 18th. Thursday night, we changed things up a little bit that we're actually charging $1 to get in or a non-perishable food item to get in for free. So with, I believe it's Spider Lake Church we're working with to do a food drive. Friday night's bull riding, Saturday night autocross and demo derby. And then our figure eight race and demo derby on Sunday. We have made quite a few improvements this year. It's been a lot of work. We did get the flagpole installed. I installed that. We're working on our new lights for the pit and parking. This Friday, the American Legion is helping us set up our family tent. And then we'll be ready to go. So and all of our vendors, we have a lot of vendors this year. A couple new food trucks. So we just need good weather and people to show up.
Anybody have any questions?
Sawyer County Fair.
No, the weather.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I wish I was in charge of it. I'd make it be 65 to 70 degrees and then everybody would come.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, number 9, University of Wisconsin Extension report. We don't.
Yep, I'm online.
Great.
Okay, so good morning. I just wanted to pop in because I think that we're supposed to be the second month of each quarter reporting, but then we were there last month. So I just wanted to pop on today to say I'm listening and just give you a couple of updates, and then we'll plan to do our quarterly report again in November. So the budget has been turned in. And if you haven't heard, Cassidy's position, who is our state support staff that we worked last year to try and get shared across 4 counties, she has resigned and her last day was Friday. So we'll be rehiring that position. So some changes might happen with that because I'm always looking for ways to be as efficient and effective and cost efficient in particular. So we'll be working on that. And I think Donna is there to give her report for winter library today, but I'll share a little bit of her news because it's more related to extension than the library, but it's for the 100 Who Care. She was able to present last week and was awarded the $10,000 for 4-H. So that money will be funded through or funneled through Wisconsin 4-H Foundation. And then it doesn't help with our budget, but it certainly helps with the opportunities for youth in the county. So the money is earmarked for some new projects that she's working on, in particular for maybe a sewing project, maybe some shooting sports projects that are really pretty popular in other spaces. And so we're hopeful that will help with enrollment numbers for 4-H as well, and opportunities to reach youth in Sawyer County, as well as for state and national trips that funding needs to be available for people who live in the north to be able to participate in those opportunities as well. So we're excited for that, and are very thankful and humbled if you've read any of the press releases. But kudos to Donna and her team for helping secure those funds for youth in the county. I will also remind you, if you haven't ever been to the Twilight Garden Tour, August 20th is that special date over in at the Spooner Ag Station. So Kevin is always proud and always inviting people to come and visit the Ag Station and see what the Twilight Garden Tour is all about. That's again on August 20th. And that concludes my information. Happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Lori, can you email that to us so that we can remember that date?
Yeah, you betcha.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Anybody else have any questions for UW Extension? And is Donna online? Can you see? Okay. She's not here, Lori, but we'll give her kudos when we see her. Thank you.
Okay, good. Sorry, I was thinking she was going to be there today, so good.
All right. So then we have number 10, Hayward Lakes Visitors and Convention Bureau. We get a new executive director introduction.
Yes, good morning. I'm Mindy Simons, the new Executive Director of Hayward Lakes Visitor and Convention Bureau. I did send you all an email with a brief introduction, but just in case you didn't have a chance to check that out, wanted to at least give you a couple stats on my background and what I bring to the table. I was born and raised in Hayward, and my parents were also born and raised in Hayward. My mom grew up in Stone Lake. My dad grew up just south of Hayward. They spent the majority of their working career in the Hayward area. My mom worked for 20 years at the Hayward School District, and my dad spent 33 years at People's Bank, which is now Franson. So they are happily retired in Florida now, but still come back from time to time to get a taste of cooler weather. During high school, I worked at Tremblay's, and then during college, I actually worked at Lumberjack Village at a small boutique. So I got a real taste of tourism throughout my high school and college working career. After college, I started in sales and spent 17 years in a sales career, starting in the Twin Cities metro area in office equipment sales, and then moved on to selling pharmaceuticals in the upper Midwest, covering Wisconsin, Minnesota, North and South Dakota. So about 3.5 years ago, I had a chance meeting with Sherry Beckman. She actually was my high school cheerleading coach. So we ran into each other, and I happened to be looking for a job, and she was looking for someone. So the stars aligned, and I made it back to Hayward, starting as the marketing assistant, moving to assistant director. And I'm super excited for my new chapter as executive director. Our new assistant director, we do have someone hired, and she will be starting in September. She's actually currently working at our front desk staff as an information specialist. So I can tell you more about her as we move along, but she'll be starting September 10th. I am obviously new to this position, so I am open to feedback from what you'd like to hear as far as what we're looking forward to doing and things like that. But so far, my plan is to report to you on our previous month's marketing activities and tell you what's going on. But if there's ever anything else you'd like to learn about from the Hayward Lakes perspective, I'm certainly open to feedback. So with that, I just want to say thank you, and I'm super excited to be in the new position and to be reporting to this committee.
Thank you. We're looking forward to you being in this position. So Sherry did a great job, and I know you will too. Does anybody have any questions?
You know, it seems like the larger than the average. The merchants must be well.
So far from what we have heard, this has been a great summer. So it was a little bit of a slow start in June with the rain, but July and the beginning of August so far has been phenomenal. There's still a few vacancies here and there. We do keep a vacancy database. We have some people call with last minute openings. So if someone is looking for a place to stay, they can stop in and we have a list of places that have openings. So far so good. We've been able to accommodate. So great. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, number 11, Northwest Regional Planning Commission report. Do we have anyone online for that? No? They must be doing really good. They're busy and cannot attend. All right. 12, we're going to skip until Mr. Lamore is here. It's Economic Development Corporation report. Is everybody okay with that? He's not going to be here till 9, so I'll just talk slow. Okay. 13, library update, first of the month of each quarter. Donna's not here, but she did send her report. And it's just a director's report. It's online. It's available if anybody wants to see that. It's on our agenda, I should say. All right. 14, motorized trail and non-motorized trail report. Kathy, do you want to talk about motorized trail?
Good morning, Kathy LaRue with the Sawyer County Snowmobile and ATV Alliance. Not much of a report. We did have a quarterly NORTAC meeting. I think that was July 25th. Excuse me, I'm still fighting this summer cold from weeks ago. And Randy Newman is our new appointee for the county. So that was the first meeting of that. It's always an interesting meeting. The ORV Council goes over funding for the ATV trails. And so we had a lot of discussion about that. The survey that NORTAC is putting on has almost 2,000 respondents so far. And I believe at our fall meeting, Clem from Northwest Regional Planning is going to pull the data from that and give us an update as to what that survey indicates. So we're pretty excited about that. We're getting a lot of response. Other than that, I really don't have a lot to say. We've had good reports as far as the county road opening. There still continues to be a little confusion as to what's open, especially for visitors that come here from out of the area. We're working on clarifying some of those roads. We did order reassurance markers to put up, which are small 6x6 ATV signs to just put up on the county roads. And those will, just reassure riders that they're on a legal route when they're out riding. John Pino mentioned to me that there's a lot of poison ivy and poison oak in the ditches this year. So we're probably going to wait until fall before we install those. Just for that reason, I'm not real anxious to catch that. So any other questions?
Who pays for those signs? Does your association pay for those, or is that the highway department?
One of the ATV clubs, North Country Riders, put the $1,000 bill for that.
Okay.
So
Have you had any enforcement issues with the trail marking or not on different sections of road?
I haven't heard of any specific problems other than within LCO. People are still confused. They're getting tickets within LCO riding on portions of the county highways that they don't have open. And so I've been talking to LCO, encouraging them to purchase some signage, additional signage, which I think they have done. And my hope is at some point they'll just simply open those county roads, but we're not at that point yet.
Thanks.
Right, thank you. Tom, do you want to read the non-motorized?
Let's see, I've given you all a written report from Ben as far as the brook is concerned, but briefly summarizing what his report says, the Lumberjacks championship was this past week. It was a huge success. The registrations for the Brookie now are in excess of 8,000. Ben has been named as the president of the World Loppet, which is the 20 races worldwide in the Nordic countries. And he'll be the president for the next 4 years. And the Brookie Trail now has been mowed this past week, so it's ready for training if someone wants to go. So other than that, that completes my report.
On here you have the new outdoor center will open August 17th. Is the
Yes.
public all welcome to attend that?
Yeah, and we'll have, that's the new development at Cable. Yeah, you're all welcome to come. So try to do that. Free refreshments.
Will they make us hike? I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Or get out and use the trail. It's beautiful.
Do they have any numbers on who's using the trail this summer? What the count is or anything?
No,
Okay.
no.
Any other questions for the trail report? Okay, we go to broadband update. Andy, do you have anything on that?
Just on the non-motorized, I have a meeting set up with Ben for later this week, I think on Thursday. So if there's anything you want me to take back to Ben, it's kind of a touch base. I've tried to figure out when the best time of the year to catch Ben was. There really wasn't. So we're just gonna go ahead and meet this week. For broadband, volume 2 has been approved by the FCC. The state had for the BEAD dollars. So the state had to submit the volume 1 and volume 2 for their plans on. Volume 1 is more or less the BEAD maps. Volume 2 is, now that's been approved. We think the maps with the eligible BEAD locations will be published. And then the timelines for the grant application will most likely come out as well. Still, I think they'll come out. The timeline will be for later this year, still within 2024. I have talked to 3 of the local telephone companies that we've partnered with in the past. It does sound like all 3 are making plans to submit some applications for BEAD. We still have projects open with Bevcom and Mosaic. And they are still completing those, but expect to have those done yet this year. And those are from ARPA dollars that we had pledged for those projects. So things are moving along. I think there's a lot of work out there, so they're going a little slower because of the need for people to put the fiber in the ground and get it spliced and get it to the location. So, but it sounds encouraging that we'll see more more broadband activity with the BEAD funds.
And for those places, just if you could remind me,
Mhm.
those places that aren't getting any feed, can the broadband dollars go to Starlink or anything of that nature?
That I have not read volume 2 or what the state's plans are, if that's going to be included. I know at the broadband meetings that Steve and I attended, they did talk about how wireless, non-wired solutions, they anticipate making those eligible for BEAD funding because there are locations that are just too expensive or too remote to run fiber to. Now, whether it's going to be Starlink or something else, I don't know for sure.
That's the only one that I knew, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other option is like a fixed wireless.
Okay.
That's something we've been talking to as part of the public safety network. Companies like Bug Tussle are out there doing fixed wireless,
Okay.
whereas Starlink is more satellite based. I anecdotally have talked to a few more people that have Starlink though, and have said really positive things about the service they're getting.
Mhm. Any questions about
Steve,
broadband?
yeah, Steve, anything you want to add for broadband?
Nothing in particular, other than just looking at all of the pages and pages of rules and regulations around volume 2. It looks like it could be a gold mine for some consultants to help the process. A lot of paperwork involved.
If you've read the pages and pages, you're further along than I am. I'm waiting for the cliff notes. You know, this is what we're actually this is what you need to do now version.
Me too, yes, thanks.
All right, thank you for that. Mr. Lamoury, would you like to give the EDC update before we get into the other committee updates? We tabled until you got here. We tabled your report, so thank you.
official record, I'll go on and leave my wife.
Don't ever do that on record.
Adam Lamori, Economic Development, Sawyer County LCO Economic Development Coordinator. Thank you, and I'm sorry I'm late. A lot of stuff going on. We, last month, couple of highlights I'll start with. We had the LCO Tribal Toolbox last Thursday. First one I have attended, and it was very interesting. It was kind of directed for people like myself to gather information from different organizations. So I was able to get a lot of good feedback about where to go and what to do and what to apply for, and the process of helping Sawyer County. One of the big takeaways is getting a feasibility study done so that we can help organizations obtain grant money. And that's kind of the base foundation of where I'm going to start with that. Specifically with our incubator that's at the LCO University right now. And anyone that you may know that wants to start a business, we are offering free technical assistance, as I've stated previously, for small business owners that want help getting started, obtaining funding, writing business plans, marketing. We basically can provide all of that for them. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 6, there will be someone available at the university, and there's directions when you walk into the lobby of where to go. So that's been going on. We have about 3 different businesses that our consultant is working with right now. So we're taking some good strides to get that started. The other thing that we did last month, we had a grand opening for Timber Marine Services, and basically those are offered to businesses that start up. The EDC will help sponsor those, and we will highlight what they do, get tours of their facilities, find out the services they provide, and it's kind of just a social gathering. We have another one planned for the end of August at the lot. So that will be coming up next month, and you'll see some advertising on Facebook and stuff like that. So that's very exciting. Also, I have some specific grants applications that are going to be coming up. There's a small business development grant that I will be submitting. That grant will be between $50,000 and $250,000 available to us if we are awarded it. That money can be used to match funding. It also be used to loan out. So I'm really looking forward to putting that together to help Sawyer County businesses get started. In other news, we have some new sponsorships that have agreed to give money. That would be Enbridge, and they're planning on, it just takes a while to get checks written and all that kind of stuff. So the other one is Arkland. So we have a couple more people on board helping us grow Sawyer County. So that's the gist of my report. A couple other small things, but that September is going to be a big month for grant writing. So you'll probably hear about that next time.
And if people want to get a hold of you, is it better to email you or to phone?
Phone is by far the best.
Okay.
You want my number
You
on the record?
If you want to say it out loud,
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to say it for
Yeah.
anybody watching.
So my number on the record, it's my cell, is 651-308-8206. That's 651-308-8206. By far and away, the quickest way to communicate with me. Emails are checked as well daily, but, and I have multiple people that I'm currently working with as well, trying to figure out good places for them to start. So you can direct anyone to me.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for the EDC director? I think the next meeting is this Thursday, correct?
Yep, this Thursday.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
It hasn't been done yet. It just got sent out actually by Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. And so I have the application, but I believe I have a little bit of time. It just came out last week, actually, the one that I'm referring to. There's actually a couple that I'll be applying for that are popping up, some block grant and stuff like that. So most of my time is going to be trying to obtain some of that funding, because when they do come in to the incubator, one of the big questions is, you know, how do I get money? And that's the number one thing. So we're going to try to make that as easy as possible.
Well, thank you for all you're doing.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and I apologize again for my tardiness.
It's Monday. Okay. All right. Outside committee updates. Does anybody have anything that they've attended that they want to share? Go ahead. Yep, that's the next one. At least according to the website.
Outside committee stuff, at our last full board meeting, Jeffrey Muse from the Job Service or Concentrated Employment Program office in Ashland gave a short presentation here explaining the dire financial situation that entity found itself in. Since then, we had an emergency, I guess I'd call it an emergency board meeting last Thursday, August 1st. And the board has determined that it's best to relieve Mr. Muse of his duties. So he has been given his leave. And there is a person out of the Park Falls office who is going to be an interim leader of that organization until we either determine she is able to do it full time or get someone to replace her. That's the current thinking. We meet this Thursday again to see if she and the head accountant there can put up a business plan that we can support to continue. Otherwise, there's a possibility SET may be dissolved and, you know, just found not to be viable. So anyway, there's a lot has happened. So, and other than that, Indian Head Community Action Agency, we had a meeting on July 22nd. It was not well attended. We just went over some routine numbers. There's another meeting scheduled for August 29th. I'm supposed to have a one-on-one to get into the financials of that organization a little more sometime this month, but at a date yet to be determined. So that's about the latest news I have on outside organizations I'm monitoring.
Thank you for doing that. Anybody else have anything that hasn't already been reported? Okay. All right, 17, Historical Society. We always save the best for last, just so you know.
Well, we just held our quarterly meeting the end of July, and along with the Stone Lake Historical Society at the Stone Lake Lions Club, John Detloff was our speaker, talking about his book on the Chippewa flowage. The other thing we were busy with was Lumberjack Championships. Since we're right across the street, we always park cars there. So it was 3 very long days parking cars, but we make some money, promote some goodwill. You know, we don't charge much. We're the closest one, I think. We charge $3 to park. We let the people come and go for that $3. We let them use our restrooms, tour the museum. The other thing that was new this year, there was a trolley tour on Friday. A school teacher from Minnesota that does it where he lives. Every summer he has trolley tours. He set it up. The Historical Society handled the online ticket sales, and we had a couple people there where they were boarding at the visitor center. And any profits from it will come to the Historical Society. And I don't know if he plans to do this again. I understand people that were on it liked it. I haven't gotten much of a report yet. But they had 3 tours, about 50 minutes each. No idea where they went or anything, except when I was parking cars, I saw them go by several times. So it had to be, all in 50 minutes. You couldn't go real far away, so it had to be things around Hayward. I know they went down Main Street, and whether it'll be a permanent thing or not, I don't know. This gentleman who's a teacher, he has a place on Whitefish Lake, so this is the first time he's done it here. I guess we'll find out how well it went off, I don't know how many people were on them. It looked, when they went by, it looked like pretty many. But, and everything went well, except for the rain. And we only charge $3, but a lot of people give us $5, to park. Another one gave us $10, and 2 of them gave us $20, including Tom Jr. He always does. And we appreciate that. So we made a little over $600 for the.
Did you get a lot of compliments on the wood wagon that you put out front?
People were looking and taking pictures. That's the first year for it. So, any questions or? Pardon? Yeah.
You've been busy all summer. Is that what you? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Okay.
All right. 18, future agenda items. Is there anything anybody wants to see on the agenda for next time other than what's presented? All right. And 19, correspondence reports from conferences and meetings. I don't think we have any of those besides what you've presented, Steve. So I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second by Mr. Kariainen. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.